Hello, everyone, and welcome back. My name is Tuxedo Ian, and we are getting back into our playthrough of Book of Hours. When we last left off, winter had just ended, and we had entered the labyrinth season of Numa. So let's dive right in and get back and see what we can get accomplished today in this most special of seasons. Everything is remembered, Hush House endures. A matter of what moves in the mist, drawing a new Numa incident. And we managed to get Mrs. Kill's assistance, so we will go ahead and start talking to her so we can start generating some memories. And the reason that we had to hire her quickly is because mist and silence. The house is quiet. The signs above the door are written in a language that even I cannot read. No one comes in answer to my knocking. Numa. The mists are thick, but as I approached, I saw lamplight in the rector's study. Now, though, I see the windows are shuttered, and the light I saw was a fugitive wisp like a lost star. Numa. We can try putting in Faust, but it will not us allow to start it because there's nobody there to talk to. Mist and silence. The smithy fire still glows, but through the window I see a gaunt, eyeless shape working the bellows. There is no sign of Denzel, and I know better than to interrupt this visitor. Numa. The telegraph line crackles, the mist surges and retreats. From far away, it might be the hills above the village, I hear the postmistress's voice crying out, imprecations and lamentations in the Cornish tongue. But there is no sign of her here. Numa. The door is open, the fire is cold, the shapes at the tables are hunched and quiet, dressed in furs and dark feathers. Mist presses against the walls and strokes the flagstones with its fingers. A drum taps an irregular rhythm somewhere beneath the inn. Numa. And in Numa, we have a special option that's available here during this. We can rest and get the refreshments of the labyrinth season. The inn is crowded with Numa's heralds and pilgrims. Their meat is unfamiliar, their drink is unknown. As I linger at the window, an electric bulb flares like a marsh light. A guest raises her glinting eyes and sees me. She beckons me in with a gloved hand. Now this would restore our core for free, but we would pay a price for it in that our core would then be maladied and it would become a duodratic core. So not exactly the best thing to have right now, though, because we do kind of want... But, on the other hand, we do have the ability to rest and recover that, and having two unmatchable cores would be a handy thing to have at this point. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and rest that core, and we can restore it after Numa is over. Alright, so we are working on leveling up the skill there. Is there someone en route to Hush House? A visitor interested in frost. Julian Costley. A matter of the softer frost. In Numa, visitors will be concerned with how and when things end. As long as this card remains, pneumatic visitors will have an interest in winter mysteries. Their needs will usually be more exacting than visitors who come during more traditional seasons. Julian Costley. Magus. Winter long. Controversial philosopher. For an immortal exalted by an hour of silence, especially one who might be dead, he has had a great deal to say for himself over the years. He understands Aramaic, Phrygian, Greek, and Latin. He has interest in winter and moon, and he knows Ericapean. We could get a lesson in Ericapean from him and try and start working on reading those books, but I think we're going to stock up on some Spintria by fulfilling his need. So we will finish talking to Mrs. Kill and see what kind of memory she gives us. And let's see, is there anything we want to do with the Noom Broom? So we have Knock, Moon, Rose, and Winter. So we could read this on the windings. We could read on Imperfections, which would give us glass blowing and vessel crafting. We don't have enough to read that. Can't read that one yet. Can't read that. What we could do, though, is we have an Almanac of Entrances here, which we could read. Let's see if we can get that to 10. So we have, not Whist. We need Shapt, the Noom Broom, a Crack in the Seal, and this. That gets us enough. And as you can see, preliminal meter plus a memory would give a curious hunch. But for right now, we are going to read an Almanac of Entrances, which is going to give us a lesson for Edicts Liminal. A handbook of sealed and unsealed byways and shortcuts through the bounds, compiled by William Harries in the 1860s, during his time as librarian of Hush House. And this should give us 2 memories, or 2 lessons, so we'll be able to get that immediately up to level 2. We'll be able to level up Edicts Liminal to level 3. So we are going to need Knock and Moth memories, which we do not have yet, but we can start working on that because that's going to take us 2 minutes to read that. So we need a Knock memory. We can get that from Salt. And this one is probably going to give us patterns, so we can ignore that for now. We can also come over here and read with our FET. We can reread. See, Knock or Moth. I know we had something here we could do that gave us... Oh, there it is. Impulse. Yeah, so we can reread Ambrosial and get Impulse. And that will give us 2 memories. So we just need probably the pattern that it will give us. Or we'll see what it does give us. Is there anything we can do with this snow? 3 sky or 3 winter? 10 winter. Oh, we can read. We can come over here and read... the 5 letters. Well, if we did that, we'd run out of time because we'd probably waste. Although we could apply it to Inks of Containment, because those 2 are both winter and moon. Yeah, I think we'll do that. So we will apply that. We need 1 more. We can use our knife for that. She gave us a memory of fear. Not much we can do with that, but we'll talk to Costly. If Solomon is gone, if Solomon remains. Another echo. Thomas, Eva, Matilda, Brian. Every name. Try a book with as much mystery winter as their winter interest. So his winter interest is 7. So we need a book with at least winter 7. Luckily we have that. The White Book of Brittany here. The words I wrote will always be those words I wrote then. Writing my final edition, it changed a great deal, but not that. So with the words of others. But if I read them, even reread them. On the softer frost, endings like the pale light before a pale dawn. We can always be certain of a first time. We can never be certain when it is the last. So that'll take us 1 minute to give him that. Sickle and Eclipse has been raised to level 2, and we are going to need that Tryst to level up our Inks of Containment, so we can come in here, and luckily we have plenty of drinks. So we can use this Cup of Veiled Goddess, a quick nap, and a warm bed with something comforting to drink while the winds chase the clouds and the clouds chase the sun. So that will restore our Tryst and allow us to use it. And also in Numa there is a special ability that can be done with the Consider verb. So let me see, what do we have that's highest level here? So we could take, like, say, Magaphine Mysteries, for example. In Numa, in this season, memory can sometimes be a mirror, which is to say, among other things, we might consider its shattering. So we could add our core. The brightness in the mist. Is it the sun? It might be unwise to gaze into it. I may choose to lose almost everything I have learned of this skill, since I haven't yet committed it to the Tree of Wisdom. I would gain 8 many-faceted lessons, 1 fewer than I spent to get this far, for though much abides, something is always taken. Many-faceted lessons can be used to upgrade any skill, but always disappear at dawn. So what that would do is basically many-faceted lessons work as lessons that you can apply to any skill. However, 8 is not really a great amount to get for that, as would be, and we'd be scrambling and using everything we had to do that. So we're going to pass on that option this time. But we can also look down here and see what we have in the gardens, because special things will happen in the gardens. So we can get Honey-Scarred Jasmine here, I believe, if we were to... Yeah. Honey-Scarred Jasmine. Numa brings it back to life. The history plant, Agave Eterna, flowers here in summer and in Numa. The history plant has risen, gather its blooms, all the more plentiful in Numa, so we would get 2 of these if we chose to harvest from here. We also have this area here. Only in Numa can I follow the white flowers of Molly to its potent black root, so we will harvest 1 Molly, because that might come in handy. And we can look here in the Prentice Garden. In Numa, the shining pear, Pyrrhus auricalcanus. Pyrrhus auricalcanus. In Numa, it develops quickly. The boughs of the tree bend with the fruit. So we can spend 1.5 minutes and harvest that, and that will be a rather potent addition to our arsenal of foods we can give to our visitors. There went our first read. Should be just, and we're just about done in the, yes. Refreshments of the Labyrinth season. I have eaten, I have drunk. A cloying taste lingers. My lips are stained with gray. As my concentration lapses, I begin to hear distant music like the tapping of a drum. I have now have a second core Duendratic, and I have earned an old wound. The wound is visible. The pain is not. Gives me edge 2 moon and 3 winter. That is a persistent memory, but as we learned when we read here, everything will disappear at the end of Numa. So we'll have to use it or lose it. Alright, so there is our memory impulse. And our memory salt. Let's see, is there anything else we can read with what we have? So that old wound gives us some moon, but not going to be enough to actually do anything with, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think we can get... Yeah, we don't have back yet, so that's out of reach. We don't have Kilisimi yet, so that one's out of reach. We've read everything over there. Read Hush House lectures. We need... Well, we could do... Actually... That would be 1, 2, 3, 4... Yeah, not quite enough to read that one just yet, but we're getting close to it. We would need another... Actually, we can do that, because we have enough time. So we need a sky memory, so we can do Singlefoot Songs and get another Savage Hymn out of it. And there goes Costly. Endings like the pale light before a pale dawn. We can always be certain of a first time. We can never be certain when it is the last. And we just get a memory of that. And he's given us a silver spintria. Occult treasures are purchased with occult coin, spintriae. Silver spintriae are more valuable and usually display scenes of debauchery on their reverse side. Okay, come on, come on. Always the interminable waiting. And there's our tryst back. And we could rest our fet, but I don't think we'll need it. And we have, yes, because we have gathered some molly. And we've gathered some Pyrus Auricalcinus, which has 4 forge and 4 nectar, so it's a very potent food for boosting up if we need those. Molly, the gods call it, and it is hard for mortal men to dig, but with the gods, all things are possible. 2 moth, nectar, 2 scale, 2 moon, and heart. Quite an interesting little group of skills there. And so now what we will do is we will rest our health again. See, we should have a glass of something around here somewhere. Yes, we have some coffee. And we'll be able to get another harvest of pears. Pyrus Auricalcinus, a peculiar pear with coppery skin that barely dents under the pressure of fingers. And up here, rarer plants might flourish in Numa. I think that one also gives this would give a some Agalophotis, is what this one gives. And there we have finished an Almanac of Entrances, a handbook of sealed and unsealed byways and shortcuts through the bounds, compiled by William Harries in the 1860s during his term as Librarian of Hush House. Harries discusses the role played by the Légion du Seuil and the Company of the Wolf in Gold in warding the bounds against outside influences. He warns that bounds travelers may themselves be considered outside influences. The Mansus, as Ys, lacks walls. Ys and the Mansus both have their gates, and there may be no gate without a wall. Thus the paradox resolves, as all those who walk in dream will learn. But the wood has neither gate nor wall, and so it is the wood whose roots may creep into us after hours of our waking. And this has given us a lesson on Secret Threshold and 2 Edicts Liminal lessons. So we will mark that. That is a new memory for us. Almanac of Entrances and Secret Threshold. And we will place that into the memories section over here because that is a unique memory. We'll put it down on the bottom shelf there. And we'll start with Lesson 1 of Edict's Liminal, our Tryst, and the Secret Threshold. And we are also, it seems, going to have to rest our Shapt because we'll need that. And we can cure whatever malady it's going to get after Numa is over, but it's going to be more important to get that done. And we have read the 5 letters on memory, Julian Costley's epistolary treatise on matters immemorial and mnemonic, addressed to his then friend Claude Harsalt, the mystic and antiquarian. The book is partly a practical manual expounding memory palace-like techniques, and partly an exploration of memory rarefied, modes in which sense or experience persist outside a mortal mind. This is an early work, and by Costley's standards it brims with optimism, even enthusiasm. If books, he suggests, are the memory that does not die, then perhaps with sufficient endeavors, memory's murderer might be contained. So this has given us a lesson on rhyme and remembrance and a memory of regret. So we can mark this with memory regret. And once our Edict's Liminal has rested up, we'll be able to move it to the next two. We'll be able to use this consider verb again. Skill is now level 2. And we will apply that lesson. We don't need to raise rhyme and remembrance anymore. It doesn't really give us anything nice. But what we can do is we can use this. Let's see, do it. Nope, we still have to wait for a soul piece for that. Now, this might be tricky. I have eaten, I have drunk, a cloying taste lingers, my lips are stained with gray. The doors of my soul have opened too wide, every sound rings like a bell, every word scratches at my eyes or skin. Our Shapt is now accusis. The doors, and so it just loses its forge and is now primarily one knock. But that's enough for us to use. We can lose Edict's Liminal. And the Shapt, and improve Edict's Liminal to level 3. So I think we're going to just have enough time here. Yes. Okay, so there goes our 2-minute warning. Let's see, what does this even... I've never checked this in Numa. Let's see what this might give. Sea Holly returns. Gather it carefully. Let's see. We could get some more Molly. I think we're going to get some more pears. Because they're more potent. And then we need another beverage. We have these Rose Kragan whiskey. And we will rest our... Let's see, we need either moon or winter. We will rest our whist. We have 2 minutes left, so this will give us just about 30 seconds to get our everything put together. Yep, we completely forgot about talking to her again. But we can go ahead and continue talking to her, see if she'll give us anything useful. Probably not. Alright, Edict's Liminal is now level 3. It has Moth 4 and Knock 3, so that's a good source of Moth for reading Moth books. And to cure this accusis, we'll need 5 winter. And luckily enough, we have a beverage over here. We have some Solomon's Preparation that has 4 winter that we'll be able to use to help with that. So let's see here. So it is getting towards the end of the day now, and we also have another option that's open to us here at the Sweet Bones. We can use one of our soul cards to do uncanny labors. The inn is crowded with Numa's heralds and pilgrims. They will be gone by morning. Until then, I could offer my services for payment. I might regret it. Normally, if you were to use a soul card here, it would come back maladied, just it was if you were resting, but metal is fortunately immune to being maladied, so we can apply our metal there. It will take a full day, 6 minutes to do the work there, but it will reward us rather heavily for doing so. Alright, come on, 20 seconds. So nothing that she really did to help us out, but we got a couple things done. So now if we wanted to, we could start reading another book. Let's see, do we have something with lantern that we could read? We could get 2, 4, 10. We could get to 11. 14 is a little bit beyond us yet. $12, though. 12 might be doable. If it asks us for another memory, we could do that. So we will apply, and we can use one of our bottles of Ashetine with this. Oh, and I almost forgot. We have Oral Contemplation. So yes, we can get to 14. We could read. So this one would give us Inks of Revelation. This one would give us more Pyroglyphics. I think, well, we can do the full 14, so we might as well do the full 14. There we go. I can master this mystery. And as you can see, with Oral Contemplations, 10 lantern plus a liquid would provide Xanthotic Essence, which we will look at later, but that's what that one can craft. So we will start reading Opus Magnum Cerulum. Ambrose Westcott used to render the title of this venerable and anonymous work mockingly as the Big Blue Business. A kinder translation would be the Great Work in Azure. So we'll go back, and as soon as our bed here is finished resting. Alright, so there is our whist. And we have some more pairs. So we can take our Inks of Containment, our Lesson, our Memory, and our Whist, and we can level up Inks of Containment to level 2. And Numa is just about over. It is nighttime. Let's see, is there anything we can carry through? So this is a way we can kind of cheat our way into carrying something we shouldn't be able to carry out through the day. If we wait until just there. So let's see. We could carry the Savage Hymn. Can we get the Old Wound? No, we cannot. We could get the Satisfaction. I think what we'll do is we'll take the Savage Hymn with us. Let's see. Is there anything I can actually use those for, to start reading those? So that would be 1 knock, 5 knock. Nope, not enough. could do 6 sky, 3. Yes, we could do that. So that's what we were going to do with that. Almost forgot. And the astrolabe gets us to 6. And that will carry that into the next day because it will bypass the night ticking over. And we'll carry on with memory satisfaction, the grail. There goes morning. And there goes Numa, and it takes everything, all of our memories with it. So Inks of Containment is now level 2. So it is 2 moon, 3 winter, so it'll be a little easier for us to make Catwink now. Next winter memory will probably level that up a little bit more. So let's see. Can we get to winter 10? We have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we'd have to take a risk, but so our whist, we would have to rest our whist. Our Sweet Bones is still going to be busy for the rest of the day. So we'll come over here and we'll grab a... pour out some wine. So we have some Lambe Brocalande. As soon as our memory here finishes being saved. And we also have someone en route to Hush House. So there's our memory satisfaction saved. And we will rest our whist. Let's see, we can use our Maladied Shaft. We will need a winter memory, so we will get that. You'll notice there's no weather today. That's because we got a weather from the day that ticked over just before it went to Numa, so it counts as the game already having given us a weather for today. But we can manage without it. So let's see who's coming to visit today. Dr. Yvette Southey. Playwright, philologist, psychoanalyst, as happy with questions as with answers. Okay, so she will be able to teach us Ericapean once we call her back after we've satisfied what she needs. She knows Greek. She also knows Kernavik Hernavak, understands this forgotten language well enough to read or teach it. And she knows Latin. And she's interested in winter and moon. And for salons, she'll eat or drink anything. She doesn't like to make a fuss. So we will talk to Dr. Yvette. Hello there. Got a moment? I wouldn't be here if I hadn't heard about the Reckoner War. But it's not the Reckoner War that interests me. It's the trade in years. Try a book with as much mystery moon as their moon interest. I've been looking into family history, again, and I can't make the records line up. I don't know exactly what I'm looking for, but I hope I'll find it here. So we need to give her a book with moon, or we can give her collected Hush House lectures. The records do line up if a certain Brankrug resident bore a child at the chronological age of 49, which might be possible if she'd traded extra years of life with Reckoners. That raised more questions than it answered, but I think I might have half an answer now. And we have finished reading Opus Magnum Cerulum. The reason for Westcott's enmity to this work are clear to any pyroglyphicist. It was written in at least 2 centuries before he was born, but anticipates or undermines many of his preferred conclusions. The work in question is the creation of the blue gold allegedly necessary for the terrible rite which allows a forge long to become a name. The book mentions that pyroglyphics techniques can be used with forge to create iotic essence as a necessary component, but withholds the final step, insisting that the consequences are too dire and that any interest should remain only a matter of theory. All right, so there we have another interest, another hint as for a scholar or keeper level recipe that forge can create iotic essence with pyroglyphics. So we have 2 lessons for pyroglyphics. And we have a memory of foresight. So we can we will mark this book with memory foresight. And move it into our red books pile over here. And then let's see. So pyroglyphics, we can use 1 lesson and the foresight. And let's see, do we have... Nope, we don't have a soul fragment that would work because we need our Faust for that. But as soon as our other one is finished resting here, we can use our Faust and rest that. So we'll pour out some Schloss Jennings to drink. Actually, we'll pour out some Lambeig as well. Just in case we need that last bit of Schloss Jennings. We do have another bottle up here, so not quite as powerful, but alright. There's our winter memory that we were reading. So let's see, let's come back over here. Our whist is just about done roasting here. Alright, I deserved a little quiet time, so there's our whist. And we have finished reading Traveling at Night, Volume 2, the annotated dream journals of Christopher Illopoli, sometimes called the only readable occultist, literate, entertaining, and bewildering. There is an extensive discussion of the comparisons between Illopoli's own dreams and those of the Emperor Elgabalus, who Illopoli regards as a dupe or avatar of the sun in rags. The white is west of the world, Illopoli remarks, and winter does not wait forever. Elgabalus found his way to the White Door at last, thankfully. Speech can't pass the White Door, and honestly, Elgabalus never had anything very interesting to say. I tried to follow in his footsteps, but I never learnt enough of the White. I suppose I'm thankful for that, too. But here's what I do know. It's given us a memory of solace and a lesson on sights and sensations. So we will mark that with the solace. And we have sights and sensations already. It is at level 2, so we would need another sky or winter memory to go with that. So we can go ahead and get that cooking. We can read a 7th voice and get another confounding parable to use for that. Okay, and now our whist is ready, so we can try and read this White Book of Brittany. So we can do our memory regret, our whist. Let's see, what do we have that gives us the most winter? Still rhymes and rumors, so that's 4. And then that gives us 9. So hopefully it'll ask us for another memory. So we can use the other maladied core up here to read Lady Eva's Repose again and get another regret. Just in case it asks us for a memory. If it asks us for something else, well, we'll see what happens at that point. Alright. And there goes Dr. Southey. We get another bronze Spintria, and we get her card. Dr. Southey came to suspect the reckoner trade in years of life might explain how an ancestor at Brandkrug had borne a child so late in life. And we can then take Yvette's card. And the writing case. St. David's Hill, Exeter. Dr. Southey expresses interest in winter and moon books and affairs. She will eat or drink anything. She doesn't like to make a fuss. And we have another occult scrap, which will probably come in handy. Okay, so something else we could do, instead of applying this to sights and sensations, we could apply this to inks of containment instead. It might be a good idea to do that. So there's our memory regret. There's our confounding parable. And let's see what this... So it's going to need whether things or soul. So we need a thing that has one winter. We have several things that have that. So we'll wait for it to tick over. So soul we don't have. Weather we don't have. But we do have a thing with winter on it. So let's find us a thing with winter. So this is a wall art. That doesn't help us. We have this. Nope, that's a comfort. Doesn't count as a thing. I know we have at least one. Well, we have the sea holly there. Oh, there we go. The clock. So this will get us to 10 winter and allow us to read that book. A volume of death lore gifted to St. Brandon's by Brian of Brittany, who was made Earl of Cornwall after the Norman conquest. The white flower lies heavy, but the roots of the watchman's tree run deeper than snow. The white flower is described as the death of wisdom, but wisdom can pass into sleep, not death, when the rage of glass is subjected to sufficiently powerful winter aspect, while the ragged crossroads arts are invoked. Okay, so ragged crossroads, the rage of glass, I guess that's an ingredient hint, and lots of winter aspect. So probably a scholar level recipe, because we need a specific ingredient. We need a type of ingredient, so that gives us 2 Ragged Crossroads memories or lessons. Oop. So we'll mark that with hindsight. And we can move both of these back over now. Well, we can leave this one here, and we can move this one back over to our memories collection. Do we have one that gives hindsight yet? Let's see. We have this one, so yeah. Having another one doesn't hurt, so we can pop this one over here for the moment. Actually, we'll put it back with the black book here. 12 moon, we're getting closer to that, but not quite that close yet. So I think I am going to apply so let's see, do we have Ragged Crossroads. So now we have some choices to make. We can apply one of those to Ragged Crossroads, which I think I'm going to do. We can use the hindsight memory for that, and our Arab to do Ragged Crossroads to level 2. And I think we'll take then and use this other lesson and apply it to Inks of Containment to get that up to level 3. So we need moon or winter memories. So we have a moon, we have winter. We can do that. We have enough for that. And that should be, yep. Uncanny labors. Afterwards, I don't remember what work I performed except in sense and sensations. Leaf mold, a rhythmic musical clicking like melodious castanets, soft blue flame like antique gaslight, and cold. I remember that where we went, it was cold. And that gets me a silver spintria. So the price of a full day, but it gets me another silver spintria, is well worth the investment, I believe. So that means I have 2 gold and 1 silver. And I still have my metal. Ragged Crossroads is now level 2. So we can take Inks of Containment. We can apply the Ragged Crossroads memory. We can apply Tryst, the Regret, and the Confounding Parable, and that will level that up to level 3. And we still have this other sights and sensations. I think we'll apply that to Inks of Containment as well, because why not? Because that way we can make Catwink with just about anything, with any memory, or without any memories at all. So we're going to need, so this will be level 3, so we need 3 memories to do that. So we can do Lady Eva's Repose for 1. We can do we can do Salt. It gives us 2. We can use the desk up here with our other core. And we need Winter or Moon. We can do another Confounding Parable. And that should finish just before day rolls over. Yep. So let's see. We can dream on something. We can dream on... Let's keep the Foresight, because I have a feeling we're going to want Denzel in the morning. And then we can send our metal to work at the Sweet Bones and do some fixing and mending. Alright, so Inks of Containment is now level 3. And there's our 2 memories. 3 memories. We'll just grab all 3 of those real quick. And Inks of Containment. Oh dear. I completely forgot we're going to need a soul fragment for that. Oh dear. Guess we'll have to wait until tomorrow and do that again. Luckily, those are maladied souls, so it's not like we wasted them. Yep. I completely forgot we needed a soul fragment for that. But easy enough, we can just... We can reread that to start the day. Nope, we don't need that. There we go. So that will be our 3 memories, and we have our whist ready. And okay, I think that's probably a good point that we call it. We've gone through 2 full days, so it is still the middle of spring. We have some things being worked on. We have quite a few new skills and such that we've leveled up. So we're going to call it a day at this point. Thank you for joining me. Hope you've been enjoying what you got to see. If you like what you've been watching, please leave a like or a comment. Subscribe if you'd like to see more of these. And I will see you on the flip side. Catch you later.